God, the quality is going to suck on this video. I don't care. I honestly can't. I'm too happy. I am not a professional computer builder. Do not take any of my advice in any way, shape, or form. It's an exciting time. Now, before you build a new PC, the first and most important step is to enjoy it, because you're never going to get to build another PC for probably at least a couple of years, unless you're like super rich. So make sure you've got something to enjoy the occasion with. Otherwise, it's just, you're wasting your time. Alright, now to unpacking. And I have had this stuff, some of it, for quite some time, and I haven't unpacked it, just saving it for this moment. And this one is most definitely the best one. These things are rare as gold dust. And a big thank you to someone who will remain nameless. They could only acquire me one of these, but yes, this was... Anyway, that thing weighs a ton. I wish you could feel the weight of that. Next up, we're going with the case. Oh my god. The motherboard is black. The power supply, black. Keyboard, black. Mouse, black. Table, black. Everything black. Except for the case, we went with white. I had to pay extra just to get that to clash. Alright. Yoink. Yoink. Oh, we have an instruction manual. That's cool. We'll read that later. Otherwise, shiny metal mesh. I ordered one of the smaller ones because I wanted something a little bit more compact. So beautiful. Giant case fan at the front, giant fan at the back, 2 fans that will provide more than sufficient airflow. Right. Next up, I'm thinking, ooh, motherboard. Now this one just came this way. I don't know if it was the thing of ordering it, but literally you just open it. There was no plastic wrap on it or anything. It may be the way I ordered it. I ordered it from somewhere in Germany and had to get it to a parcel motel and then forward it on to me because the place I was ordering from didn't deliver outside of Germany. Dear Lord, this thing weighs a ton. Yeah, that'll do just about fine. Then we've got our PCIe 4 slot. That's what we're going to use for our hard drive. We've actually got another slot somewhere else. There as well. We can use that for the secondary hard drive, processor slot, 4 RAM DIMMs, and an enormous heatsink. Yeah, perfect. And we have manual, CD, and a bunch of random cables. Yeah, nothing too spectacular. We'll sort that out in a minute. Alright, okay, the hard drives, okay, they're small and neat and all that, but no. Ooh, mouse, I'm actually kind of interested. No, well, we'll do power supply first. Power supply first, because that's actually an important component. Now, I went with a slightly different choice than my original one. I went with an 850 watt and I went with the Be Quiet model. It's Gold Plus and all that, but maybe I just wanted something quiet. Quiet was the most important thing for me because, well, I'm going to be in the same room recording with it. More noise means more static, more interference, more messing with my microphone to get to work. I prefer not to. Alright, let's see what we got. Double. Okay. Manual, 1000 watt, grand. I'll read you later. Absolutely stacks of cables. Just stacks of them. Jesus. And 1 kettle power plug lead. UK. God damn it. Alright, let's see. Silica. Check. And 1 beautiful, sexy little box of electricity. Look at the amount of upgradable slots we've got there. Delicious. Dear Lord. Look at the size of the capacitors back there. You can see the capacitors behind the fan at the back?
No.
They're just enormous. No? Can you see? None there? How about there?
Yeah.
There's some chunky monkeys. Yeah, those are some pretty chunky monkeys. Okay. Alright, power supply, check. I'm going to mess up loads of this because I haven't built a PC in ages. And I probably should have looked at a few tutorials before I started, but you know, what can you do? Alright, let's figure this out. I'm thinking processor first. What do you think?
Yes.
Alright, just 1 second. Oh my god. AMD Ryzen 9 5900X. Because Jesus Christ, the names just don't get long enough as it is. Now, the reason we went with this in the end over the 5600X, even though they're both going to give about the same performance in Oxygen Unlimited, was This one's just better for multitasking stuff. So if you're doing any multimedia editing, things like that, stuff I would be doing, much better. But if you're just a gamer and you don't need some workstation power, 5600X is more than enough for just about anyone. This is really only if you're going to be doing a lot of workstation type stuff. Ooh, very shiny.
What does workstation type stuff mean?
And workstation type stuff would be rendering video, working with large files, AutoCAD. You know, maybe if you're working with a giant Excel spreadsheet that's 50,000 pages. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Crazy stuff like that. And that is about. Yes, that is a very expensive piece of silicon. Amazing, because silicon's really cheap. No. But I suppose it is the entire grinding. This is 7 nanometer to do this stuff at or something crazy. I don't know, it's down to like fractions of a human hair. The way I heard it described was they used to use red light or blue light to etch, all that was in, but it turns out that light is too fat, so they had to switch to a skinnier color of light. Which, when you think of it that way, like, damn. Even when light is too fat to work with, you've got problems. Ooh. Okay. So, there should be some sort of indication on this motherboard as to which direction we should put this in, because I'm pretty sure it's not one of those ones that you can stick it in like USB. There. Alright, you. Reveal your secrets to me. There is a little notch here that's got a little golden arrow. Oh, I should really point out, I am not a professional computer builder. Do not take any of my advice in any way, shape, or form. You should probably look up some tutorials. And yes, we have a little golden notch in the corner here, which seems to line up with a notch on processor board. You can also see, notch there, perfect. You know what, we'll read the instructions like normal people. Okay. Ooh, okay, just slot it right in. Done. Problems up. Sure you don't want to take a picture of this? Okay, so we're in. So that's the most expensive problem solved. I will admit that is a little bit nerve-wracking. I haven't done that in a long.
So if you did it right, you didn't fuck it up. So if you didn't fuck it up.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for the vote of confidence. But yeah, no, I hope so too. Anyway, next up, time for the heatsink. Heatsink time. Now, this heatsink was recommended by, I think, about 6 people in the comments directly, gave the exact brand, make, model, everything of this particular monstrosity. So since so many people recommended it by name, I thought, well, it's got to be right. I looked at the reviews and it turns out, yes, very, very popular. So, yeah, we've ended up with this thing. Ooh, that's a big fan. Is this? I think this is the heatsink. Yep, this has got to be it. There's almost something else left. Alright, heatsink time. Probably would have been better if, I was sitting behind a table as opposed to having to turn around every time I have to talk. Ooh. Okay. How do we get to that here? Oh, come on. Ooh. Now that is entirely designed to cool down that tiny little CPU we just plugged in earlier. So yeah, there you go. Monstrous. Absolutely monstrous. Anyway, and yeah, they've actually got cutouts here on the side so that your RAM can fit in. Otherwise your RAM won't be able to fit onto the motherboard with this thing mounted to it. That's how stupidly oversized it is. Alright, also got a plastic thing on the bottom of it, so we're better make sure we remove that before we install it. Instructions for AMD. Required mounting parts. AMD stock backplate. Included with motherboard. Checking on the back of the motherboard, it does look like there's a stock backplate there. Let's hope that's right. Yeah, see, right there? Yeah, probably. Probably okay. God knows. Yes, 2 NMAMB8 mounting something or others. Mounting bars. NMAMB8. Yep, we got them. Then we're going to need 4 NMAPS4s. You know what? I think this looks right because we need 4 grey ones, 4 white ones, and 4 NMALS1 screws, which, yeah, that looks like it's about right. We're going to assume that's good. Probably. Remove the stock retention module, putting the backplate in place. Stock retention module would be these two things right here. That there and that there. That would look to be the stock retention modules, and I hope so because I'm about to remove them. Now, damn it, is that going to a screwdriver? I don't think I bought a screwdriver. Actually, comes with its own screwdriver built into your whatever you call the thing it is. Alright, that should just be a case of unscrewing these. You know, we wish you get a second camera for this. God, the quality is going to suck on this video. I don't care. I honestly can't. I'm too happy. One mounting bracket gone. Second mounting bracket gone. Right, where's the instructions? First, choose the correct set of plastic spacers and correct set of holes on the mounting bars, depending on whether you're using a socket AM4 or a socket AM2, AM3, FM1, FM2 plus motherboard. Indeed. Where's the CPU box gone? What one are you again? I probably should look this up. AM4. We're AM4. It's cool. It's cool. It's amazing what you can do if you read the instructions. If anyone was tuning in expecting to see a professional build, apologies, I suppose. I'll put a preface in. So here's your little bag of screws and pieces, and we want those grey ones in there. Those 4 grey ones are what we're going to use as spacers on this motherboard. Judging by the diagram, these are supposed to be curved inwards and then mounted sort of like this. Yoink. Yeah, we're just going to look at the diagram. Oh, god damn it. You notice there's 2 different spots where you can screw into. I don't know which one we're supposed to use, but we'll figure it out, I suppose. How about we just line them up with the holes on the motherboard and hope it works? Seem like a reasonable plan to you? Jones and me, I should have done more preparation work for this. But I'm committed at this point and I just don't care enough. Alright, let's see. Yeah, that seems to work in position 4s. Ah, it's actually labeled 4. Let me see. Yeah, AM4 goes with the position 4 ones. We are golden. Done. 1 slot there. 1 slot there. And with the first one in, yay! I love how professional we are about this. Totally professional. Right, that's one of them in. I should probably tighten those screws and put them in the second one. Both brackets done. Basically it's the same as the last one. No need for a close-up. What do we got next? Right, with that done, apply thermal paste. Okay, we'll consider that done in a second. And then you have to remove the center fan from this sucker. Okay. Right, there's little clasps on the side of this. Right. That's a big ass fan. Look at that sucker.
What was the class?
These are Noctua. Damn it, Noctua. Damn it, I can't pronounce. Noctua fans, whatever. They are very, very popular and very, very impressive, it seems. Also very silent. Yeah, they've got these little metal clasps here that you can, that clips onto the heatsink. We'll do more on them in a minute. First, we just got to read more instructions and find out what we're supposed to be doing next. I really should read it all and then, we should start the recording, but nah, it's much more fun when we stumble through it like blind, drunk people. So, from what I can tell from the diagram and the instructions, we get this sucker here, we mount it on top like so, and screw it on. That's why we have to take out this thing, is because the screws are blocked by this fan. That's why the fan has to go. Screws are already built into the system. Yeah. You can see the screws are down there at the bottom. Yeah. So the screws are right here, they're mounted on with springs, so you see they can't actually lose them. And we've got this little plastic thingy on the bottom, that has to go. That looks spotlessly clean. That is the contact plate. We're not touching that. We're not even going to breathe on it. In fact, we are going to cover that up again until we're ready to mount this sucker. Don't want any contamination getting on there. It's not hugely important, but it would be nice. Now, in that case, thermal paste time. Okie dokie. Yeah, there are several different ways to apply thermal paste. The most popular one is basically whatever you feel like. No one cares. Now, I was going to go with the spiral method, but then I realized that would trap air bubbles. So let's not trap any air bubbles this time. We're just going to put a big blob in the center. It should be grand. We'll just do that. Big blob. So professional. You know what? Let's put a little blob more, just to annoy someone. I'm sure that will annoy someone somewhere. Okay, done. Close enough. You got a picture? Okay. Mounting time. First, remove plastic cover. 2, line the sucker up. Put it on. I'm going to get down so I can get an eye level view of this sucker. Wait, there's sun in the background blinding me. Whew. All right. So, lined up perfectly. And you fit down just right. Couple of turns for you. And a couple of turns for you. Don't want to tighten down one side all at once and then the other. You want to do it a little bit of an even spread, I would guess. Okay, you can go down a few. Next. Dear Lord. You think I'm encouraging more people to build PCs or less?
Hey.
Hey.
I bet most of the people who watch this will never do this. They're just entertained. You know?
But no, this is supposed to be educational. Well, okay, it's not really educational, is it? If it's educational, I wouldn't be drinking while doing it. Now, I'm not sure how far down I have to tighten this. I'm pretty sure. I think I need to go down pretty far. Gently tighten the screws until they stop, but don't use excessive force. Maximum torque 0.9 Nm. You don't know what 0.9 Nm actually means. Yeah, okay. So we'll just wing it. It'll be grand. Probably. See, can you get in there and have a look? You can see there's a tiny little bit of thermal paste. You can only have to go into that tighter angle.
Almost looks like more.
Did you say Morlar?
Yeah, I did say it.
It's Mola. Morlar? Wait. It is pronounced Mola, right?
Marla?
Sucking in air from the front and shooting out the back. Then we want to organize these fans so they do the same thing. What are you laughing at? Okay, so this is the back I/O port where all the USB stuff will go. So that will be mounted up there, which means this whole motherboard will be mounted in this, well, that direction.
Nobody can see that.
Oh, fine. Whatever. It's going to be mounted like this. Right? So, because it's going to be mounted like this.
Do that again?
No. Now, there should be a little line thing on this that tells me which direction the airflow goes. Ah, there we go. Just look out for these. When you're trying to figure out which way the fan goes, don't just try spinning it and seeing which direction the air goes. Not that I've ever done that and felt like an idiot. So that tells me that it's going to fire the air that way, and we want to mount it so the air gets shot out the back. You know what? I think it's time I stopped and actually read the motherboard manual. This might take a minute. After messing around for a bit and reading up some stuff, we can install the fans, but we're not going to do that just yet. We got to install a RAM first before we mount on the CPU fan, because otherwise the two might get in the way. And as well as that, we should probably put in the hard drives. Hard drives are now mounted to the motherboard case. And we went with 2 different hard drives this time. We've got a PCIe 4 and a PCIe 3. This one, operating system, games, and pretty much all the stuff we want to run really fast. And this one is about half the price. Same size, PCIe 3, it's still blazingly fast, but this one we'll just use for holding video. Basically, all the raw video files will go on this thing and all I can do all my editing off it. Still be blazing fast. And worst case scenario, I can always upgrade to like a PCIe 4 later. It's just these things are a lot more expensive than the PCIe 3 versions. Alright, let's open these suckers up. Ooh, shiny. Look at that. They really went all out on the mounting of that hard drive. Like, I guarantee you this second one is a lot cheaper and not nearly as nice looking. Alright, to mount it, we've got this little slot down here. Damn it. It's a tiny screwdriver. 1 second, I'm going to get a tiny screwdriver. Down here, we have the hard drive slots there, and we've got a second one mounted below it. So this is what we're going to be installing the hard drive into. Well, one of them. Yeah. Also, maybe avoid static electricity while you're doing this, that would suck. You can fry things. Alright, this is the heatsink that comes mounted to it to supposedly dissipate heat. How much heat these things generate, I have no idea, but why we need heatsinks for hard drives is starting to get a bit crazy, if you ask me. Here it is. This is a 1 gigabyte drive, or sorry, 1 terabyte? A 1 terabyte drive. That's tiny, Jesus Christ. Alright, let's mount this sucker in here. You will... Need some adapter modules for these things? It seems kind of tiny. Huh. 1 second. Done. Well, it just sort of hovers there. That look a little bit weird? That feels weird to me. That feel weird to you? That looks weird.
not look right.
Find out if it's got an instruction manual in here somewhere. Oh, there's definitely something in here. Okay, instruction manual. Oh, great. Why would you put tape on the instruction manual? Seriously? Who does this? Like, who thought, oh, this would be a good idea. Let's put tape on the instruction manual. Like, I understand the packaging, but the whole manual? Weirdos. Installation guide. For more information on installation instructions and cautions, please refer to the installation guide of the mainboard or upgraded guide on your PC laptop, which is provided by the device manufacturer. So in other words, the instructions here are, go look at the instructions provided by your motherboard. Right? And they taped it closed, just so you couldn't find that information. Jesus Christ. That would be number 6. Number 6. Yes, the joys of putting a PC together. Lots of reading. Get a screw and a standoff from the included M2 screw and standoff pack. There's a pack. And there is a screw right here. Look at it. Found it. This has been a lifesaver. Which piece of hardware did I come with? Whatever one it was, definitely, yes, totally worth it. Alright, you. Maybe have to put a little spacer in here. Do you want to catch a picture of this? I can add it in later. So, yoink. That little spacer there. And we just screw that sucker in. Now we just need a screw. You have a pack with a screw in it, maybe? I wonder if there's a screw in here. So. Oh my god. Just put them in the same pack. So the mounting bracket is in one pack, and then the screw comes in a completely separate pack, because, goddamn. Okay, now I just feel stupid, but at the same time, come on. Give me the same pack and be done with it. Well, that was a waste of 5 minutes of my life. It's okay, I would have wasted them anyway. Alright. God, that's tiny.
Although the camera's still running.
Whatever. Come on, we've all done this. Okay, so when you're installing your M2 drive, do be aware that the mounting bracket and the screw for it come with the motherboard, not with the drive itself. Just something to be aware of. I love the way you just back out of the shots. It's like, I'm not even here, you can't see me, I'm invisible. Then we'll stick on the heatsink, vent that sucker down. And yes, I know I don't have a screwdriver, but whatever. I probably should have planned better.
So edit this out, dumb question. What does the heatsink do on top of a hard drive?
I presume these things get hot now or something, I don't know.
What's the problem?
Well, we've got a second hard drive, which is probably going to be the same size and require another mounting bracket and another screw, which we don't have. So we might not be able to install the second hard drive this time around, and we'll have to go and get a screw and a mounting crate.
But it won't stop the build.
But no, it won't stop. Yeah, look, there's no screw with this. So I am going to need a second.
Where's that one going to go?
There. Shining around it. We'll wait till the kettle's boiled, and then we can actually let's take a break for 5 minutes, shall we? Grab a cup of tea. Yeah, I can.
You have whiskey, you have tea.
No, I poured another one. Next up, we're going to be doing our RAM. Now the RAM was quite good stuff. We got DDR 3600, and we got clock latencies of CL 16, 16, 16, 36. This has just all to do with, oh, think of it like driving a car. The 3600 is how fast it goes, and the CL of 16, 16, 16, 36 is how quickly it can corner. That's not a great metaphor, but it's as good as I've got. Now we just have to install this now, because we put them in here, and then we mount the CPU fan. If we put these in afterwards, it's going to get even more complicated, so we're probably better off doing this. Dear Lord, those are some shiny dims. Look at this stuff. You could mount this on a very tacky suit. Right. Now, you can't mess up installing them. You'll see there's a notch partway along. It's almost impossible to mess this up because you literally cannot mount these the wrong way. But you can put them in the wrong slots. So you want to find the ones that are linked together, which is usually with a gap. So either the first and second or the second and fourth. It'll even tell you here. For the first, it has first listed as DDR4A2 and DDR4B2. You grab a quick picture of this. I presume the ones that say first are the ones we're supposed to put the DIMMs in. So you know what? But I'm going to read the manual. because, you know, reading the manual is what normal adults do. Okay, I'm lying. It's never a waste of time to read the manual. And we'll just slot the sucker in. Come on. Come on. And then you have to push the sucker down. Done. Next. God, these things are covered in gaudy LEDs, but nothing we can do about it. They're the only ones that the correct speeds and timings. And done. RAM installed. I'm going to be relying heavily on all of those photos because seriously, it's a nightmare doing from this distance.
Oh, believe me. Okay.
Oh, Christ, okay.
Oh, there's a few of the cat, too.
Why is it with people on the internet taking pictures of cats? It's like everyone who does anything on the internet has a cat. Alright, RAM installed, hard drive installed, CPU fans go in next. Yeah, when it comes to the CPU fans, we want them shooting the air out that way, so where are you listed? Here you are. Done. And we want to mount this so we can get as much air passing through the grill as humanly possible. There we go, one side up. Up down both sides. Now I want to double check to make sure that the blades are covering as much of the surface area as possible, and I think, oh, that may be a little bit too low actually. My bad. There we go, a little bit higher up. And yeah, we got more of the blade surface area covering the actual fins. The more the blade surface covers the fins, the more air you're getting through there. The more silent it will be, which is the important bit. Just you're overclocking. If you're overclocking, you're on the wrong channel. And ta-da! I lifted off the table, though I'm worried it would snap the back of the motherboard. Jesus Christ. This thing weighs a ton. The amount of crap we've thrown at the seat. Ooh, yeah.
Don't risk it.
That's fine, we're going to have to mount the motherboard anyway. And here we go. Do a little swirl for the ladies and gentlemen at home. That is just ludicrous. Like, that's just to cool the processor, all of this effort. Humans, what will I think of next? Alright. Here it is. Now, we have two CPU fans, but only one CPU controller on the board. That is listed on the motherboard as CPU's... Oh, what's it? Yeah, CPU fan. There's CPU opt and CPU fan. So I believe CPU fan is the one we want to connect to. What we want to do is we want to plug both the fan cables into this little condenser and then plug it into the CPU fan controller. That way it can control the speeds of both of them simultaneously as opposed to having to do them independently. You get these two CPU fans, you plug them into the cable here, and then you plug it down here into the grey CPU fan one. I'm pretty sure it's the grey one. I mean, I read the manual and it seems to think it's this one, so probably right. Oh, these cables are kind of janky. I don't like them there, but I don't really see a way around that at the moment. I think it's time to chuck this sucker into the case. Case time!
That's a good halfway point to make a cut on all the footage we have. This, this was not a very smooth, well-organized build, as you can see. I think this actually accurately reflects how most computer builders build their PCs, you know, badly. And in a very half-assed manner. Yeah, I'm not going to apologize. It's been several years since I've built a PC. Everything I learned last time I built a PC, I have completely forgotten this time around. I mean, I generally know where everything plugs in. It's just a case of I have to take my time, read the manual, catch up on things. Anyway, well, I was going to have the next episode out tomorrow, but RimWorld's kind of got in the way of that. So this will probably be Saturday or Sunday. I'll get the second episode, the final episode of this out. So tune in then to find out if, you know, we eat pizza and then decide, you know what, let's just chill out and we can do the computer the next day. Or we can find out if we need more than 2 tools to build a whole PC. We have gotten pretty far using just 2 tools. I mean, let's see if we need a third. Will we need a third tool before the end of this? Place your bets now. Anyway, I'll cut this out here. I hope you enjoyed and good luck.